This is the cartridge of Mother 2, known as EarthBound in North America, a game that first debuted on the Super Nintendo in 1995. And this is the team that worked in tandem to release the finished product that we know today as EarthBound. Leading this team was none other than lead designer and director Shigesato Itoi himself. A copywriter, essayist, lyricist, actor, game designer, and music lover are just a few of his defining traits. Itoi's appreciation for music comes from the solace he found with it as a child, even sometimes relating himself to John Lennon, co-founder of the Beatles, as they both did not have present fathers growing up. With such a large background in so many forms of media, Itoi, with the aid of many other talented individuals, were able to produce the quality pop culture love letter that is EarthBound. One way EarthBound does this is by imitating popular music through the process of sampling. When you think of sampling in popular music, you might think of someone taking a few seconds of an old drum beat and using it in a new song. But even a short sample from a popular song can carry a lot of information, both in the emotion that the player is supposed to feel, as well as its file size. Due to the limited channels of sound and memory space on the SNES sound chip, music was most oftenly composed of a cycle of simple waveforms. Because of this, to create an emotion-provoking and quality soundtrack, composers and designers had to get creative, especially to match the ambitions of Itoi. Itoi stating, "Being weird or goofy isn't my only aim though. It might not be something game creators these days go for, but more than anything, I have this strong desire to make people feel distraught. I want to give them laughter and joy too, of course, but I'm always filled with this desire to make people feel ever so slightly heartbroken, not just in games, but all sorts of things I work on." Itoi and his associates' decision to sample mainstream music was their creative choice to avoid these limitations.
I'll admit it.
The song you're hearing now is Six God by Drake, sampling from Donkey Kong Country 2. This time you're hearing Locals Only by Dom Kennedy, sampling from a later portion of the song Secret of the Forest from Chrono Trigger. But just as popular music can sample from video games, the opposite can occur too. By sampling beats and ideas of that from mainstream songs, they were able to take pre-existing emotional ties and run with it. With a few tricks through the processes of echoing, pitch alteration, fading, and the proper placement in the world of EarthBound, the masterful composers under the supervision of Itoi were able to make something special for each and every colorful location in the world of EarthBound, and the results of this process speak for themselves. The Super Nintendo was a restrictive system, and the development cycle was far from smooth. The development of EarthBound was a journey full of road bumps and risky decisions, but as with anything, adversity and limitations can provide insightful new ways of doing things, and as such, EarthBound was fortunate enough to be populated with a music style that, as Itoi aimed, provided distraught, heartbreak, laughter, and joy along the way. EarthBound is far from a perfect game, but it's worth noting that when creative writing styles, wacky characters, and unique music all come together, a truly masterful world can be created to help tell a story. Even more so, it just proves that sometimes the best place to look for inspiration when creating a world is the world right in front of you.